that a fake mustache, Tommy?
No,
Okay. All right. I was making sure. You scared me there for a second. All right.
these are
Three,
super villains.
3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Boys Upstairs show. This is the Week 9 NFL show.
Woo!
Welcome in. It's Halloween weekend, so happy Halloween to our listeners. Um, Happy Halloween to everyone in the NFL. I'm sure things might get spooky this weekend, although the card isn't great. There is a regular yearly card game that we have that we'll get to, but not a lot of super intriguing games this week. But they say any given Sunday. So yeah, we'll have some fun. Just some news and notes from week 8. Not much movement standings wise. No big upsets or anything. The Colts continue to be a powerhouse of the league. Unexpected to many. Daniel Jones, I think, should be at the top of the MVP front runner, or should be the MVP front runner. So,
It should be Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor really should be the MVP.
Jonathan Taylor's averaging like 2.5 touchdowns a game, and like 200 yards. Like he's actually on pace for a better season than Saquon last year, and that was the best season by running back in our lifetime. So
yeah, I saw that. It was like Saquon. There's people like, if Saquon doesn't win it, nobody will. And like Jonathan Taylor, like already has almost as many touchdowns as Saquon had in total last year. But yeah, I mean that dude's insane. Playing against him in fantasy is anyone's nightmare. Not much else other than the Steelers laid a generational egg. And as far as picks wise for the group goes, I would like to apologize to my listeners. One of my buddies reached out to me and was like, I actually wrote all your picks last week. And that's 72% that was like, oh, that's a great idea. And then your boy went goose eggs here. You can thank Caleb Williams for that. Sorry, Caleb, but like we got to beat Snoop Huntley. Come on. I don't care how many guys they had back on defense. You got to cover 6.5 at least. I'll blame the refs too because he was in on that QB sneak, which would have cashed the over, and they probably would have covered 6.5 with a 2-pointer. Um, but enough about me. We actually had, I guess, a little movement on our pick board, but enough about me. Let's talk football. Game 1 on our slate. We'll get right into it. We are doing the Denver Broncos visiting the Houston Texans. And sorry if this seems like a boring game, but sometimes the ones that look boring are the ones that end up the least boring. Texans are 1.5 point favorites, and the total is sitting at an astounding 39.5. Kobe, from the driver's seat, may or may not be driving. What do we got?
All right, so we got the disappointment bowl here, and no, that's not what my mom serves me for breakfast every morning. This is the disappointment bowl because these are two teams. Texans kind of refreshed their O line a little bit, looked like they were having a down year and going to be back in line to have another good year this year. They ain't do that shit. The Broncos were supposed to be like the best thing since sliced bread. They're not the best thing since sliced bread. So this is like the underachievers bowl, whatever you want to call it. I think that I'm going to start my take with the Broncos plus 1.5. The Texans being favored in a football game that's not against the Carolina Panthers is a little absurd at this point. And I love CJ Stroud, but they have done absolutely nothing to be deserving to be minus in it to be favored in a game. I think the Broncos, even though it hasn't looked how people have expected it to look, they've still been pulling out some tough wins. Like the Giants game, you're not supposed to be down 19-0, but hey, you came out with a win. The Eagles game, they were definitely supposed to lose that game, but they came out on top. Like they're not doing it pretty, but they know how to win. And they know how to win these grinded out games. And I think that their pass rush against the Texans, plus, I think they look like a better team so far that will allow them to win the game because this is pretty much a pick 'em. I mean, they're not going to low chances they lose by 1 point and still cover. But I think that they'll end up winning this game. And I don't know if it's too late. Sam, I texted the over, but I meant to take the under. Is it too late to change that?
Oh, no, no, not at all.
Okay, so I'm taking the under. I think the total's at 39.5. And we talked about this a lot last year, how like those 30 totals would scare people because it's a total in the 30s, and then it always hits under. And I mean, I don't know if it's like that this year. Last year was kind of like that, but I still think it's going to be under. Broncos have a good defense. Their offense has been struggling. Same thing with the Texans, good defense. But their offense is just like, they're having trouble protecting CJ. Their receivers are always in and out the lineup. So I'm taking, even though it's 39.5, I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to take the Broncos to win the disappointment bowl.
Yeah, I'll follow you up from there. I kind of agree. I wouldn't even call it a disappointment bowl as much because of what the Broncos are doing, and I'll get to that in a second. But the Texans, I just want to say, just shoved it to me last week. I don't want to get too vulgar with that statement, but I went all out against them on my lock. I thought my guy Shanny had it in him to bring Mac Jones into enemy territory and deliver a win against an underperforming team. And especially after watching the Texans offense, and I guess that just shows how good Seattle's defense is that they were kind of able to put stuff together. CJ Stroud had his first 300-yard passing game of the year. He also threw another pick, and the Niners couldn't really score, which kind of puts it in total, makes sense why the game over under is so low right now. Because if you look at the Broncos schedule, it's like, yeah, they've scored a shit ton of points in the last 2 weeks, but one of them they were shut out until the third quarter and had to make, I think, NFL history to put up that amount of points in one quarter and put up 33 or whatever. And then last week they go and play against the Cowboys, whose defense is led by your honorable Matt Eberflus. So you could just leave that at that. Um, but the Texans, I'm not fully bought in on them. Like, I don't think they've like turned it around magically. And for the Broncos, I think it's actually eerily similar to the situation of the Commanders last year, where you look and I think they were 7-2 at a point, and it was kind of like this team isn't great. Like this isn't a good team. Like they're just kind of like catching teams at the right time, like putting things together and getting lucky to end games. But they ended up going 12-5 and making the conference championship. So I think we're approaching the time of the year where it's not exactly you are what your record says you are, but it's like I think regardless of how the Broncos are winning these games, like they put belt to ass against Dallas last week, and Dallas has been one of the more confusing teams this year. But I'm not. It feels like a game that the Broncos can win, and I think they will win. As I said, I'm not convinced by the Texans win last week. I think that was more malfeasance on my part. I did want to follow Kobe and go under because and it is one of my favorite things about doing the show is picking like super high over unders, and that's like you see the numbers really high and you're like I can't, there's no way it goes that high, and it goes over, and you're like there's no way there's these two teams are only going to score 39 points total, and a lot of the time it'll go under, but I don't really want to touch that total. um and this is a get right game for me after my performance last week, so I'm just going to take the Broncos to cover 1.5, which basically is to win. Nickson, what do we got?
All right, you guys both made some good points about the state of both of these teams, the state of both of these quarterbacks. I'm going to go ahead and take the Broncos as well for a lot of the same reasons that both of you stated, but I did want to speak in particularly about the coaching aspect of it, because I feel like that's really going to be the difference in this game. D'Amico Ryans is a really good defensive coach, and I feel like he's last week especially. That team went out there. I think the Texans had the ball in the first half for 24 minutes, and the Niners only had the ball for like less than 6 minutes or something crazy like that. So he knows how to coach complementary football. But if there is another coach that is really excelling right now at just getting his guys to win games, no matter how or what, it's like Kobe said, it's been the Broncos, it's been Sean Payton. They've won ugly, they've won beautiful, and I feel like this game will probably be an ugly game. And if that is the case, I trust this Broncos team to be the one to come out on top more so than I trust the Texans team. The Texans offense has been extremely inconsistent this year. We've seen them put up 40 points against the Ravens team, but we've also seen them look absolutely abysmal and unable to protect CJ Stroud and completely unable to move the ball. So the lack of consistency for them on offense pass rushers, but I feel like the way that the Broncos have been winning games is through their two-headed backfield in RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins, and those guys have been able to get it done. So I think that the Broncos are going to kind of defer to that in this game because of the strength of the Texans defense is definitely their pass rush. Getting Bo Nix out on the perimeter, making the pocket move a little bit, neutralizing the pass rush, something that Sean Payton is really good at. And with all that being said, I just really think that the Broncos are more well equipped to win ugly. So that's why they're going to come out on top.
Johnny, want to jump in?
Yeah, I think so. All right. I originally actually had the Broncos here as well. I kind of really want to make a flip in my picks just because everything's telling me not to. Like everyone's been saying, I don't think the Texans are very good. I think they had a nice fluke of a win last week. The Broncos are coming off a bye. Like everything's pointing for Broncos annihilation, which is why I'm going to go against my gut and say Texans will actually win this game. And I want to throw a little prop and give my boy Nick Chubb a touchdown. I've had him on fantasy, and he's done terrible. I'm hoping he turns it around a little bit this week. But yeah, I don't know. I'm also just not a big Sean Payton fan. Don't like the way he dissed my boy Russ. So I'm gonna be rooting for the Texans this week, and see if they can live up to what everyone thought they could do at the beginning of the year.
And you want a Chubb TD.
Yeah, I'm completely changing my card.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Tommy?
Yeah, so I've been trying, happy Halloween, everyone. I've been trying to blow up my monkey costume while everybody else was going there and didn't have any AA batteries, had to go take some AA batteries out of, remotes and stuff, and it's still not working. So happy Halloween, this is what you're getting.
Dedication. Love it.
Yeah, so this one comes down to like you guys have, I'm sure, already said, like two teams that it's hard to get a read on at this juncture. Um, However, though, the Texans did lose me a lot of money last week because I thought after their performance against Seattle on fake Monday Night Football that they were gonna not be very good against San Fran, and they were. So it's weird. It's a weird game. I don't really love it. Texas -1.5 is also weird. Feel like the Broncos should be favored in this game. 39.5, like these are two good defenses and one like mostly incompetent offense. They did look good last week. Um, but I don't know. I don't really like I just heard the tail end of what Sean said. I don't trust the Broncos. I don't like Sean Payton. I don't have faith in Bo Nix at this point. Um, but I also don't have faith in the Texans offensive line, especially against the Broncos pass rush. And there's at some point you have to pick a team that you don't like when it's two teams you don't like. So I'm going to take the Broncos +1.5. Not going to touch the total because this game is probably going to be under, but 39.5 I don't love. And yeah, just Broncos +1.5. And I will continue to work on getting this monkey costume blown up for my next take.
Well, don't go anywhere too quickly because you're up next. But I will say that
Never mind.
if the Texans do end up losing this game, I'm going to pin it on the Rooney family for slandering Sean Payton. I don't think Sean Payton's a great guy either. He's always come across a little smug to me. So for this week's purposes, it's transitioned from a Baker Mayfield podcast to a anti-Sean Payton podcast. But we've talked enough about weird fucking teams that are somehow like hanging around. Let's go to the game everyone wants to talk about, that everyone will be watching, and I think Tony and Jim are on the call for, which I gotta say, I'm fucking stoked for that. Chiefs visiting the Bills. Going back to Buffalo. Chiefs are a 1.5 point favorite, over under sitting at 51.5. And I don't have the specific data sitting here with me, but I don't think the Chiefs have beaten the Bills in the regular season in like 25 years. So, Tommy, what do we got?
Yeah, that's what I was going to lead with. In the Mahomes and Josh Allen era, the Chiefs have not beaten the Bills in the regular season. It's the complete opposite in the postseason, as we all know. But My take on this game, and like when I first looked at this on the slate, it's like, okay, this happens every year. We're probably going to assume that the Chiefs are going to lose. And then when they play in the playoffs, the Chiefs are going to win because that's how it's gone. But I think that this year is different. At the beginning of the season, it wasn't aired on the Boys Upstairs show, but I said it in our group chat. I think the Bills are going to be in the Super Bowl this year. And so to start that off, this keeps getting lower on my ass. To start this off, I think that the Bills are going to lose this game. I think the Chiefs will win this game. And I think when they play in the postseason, the Bills are going to win that one. So that's really the only data that I have at the table. Trying to see what else I have. Oh, yeah. The other thing I wrote down was why is this game not in prime time? Especially if Jane Daniels isn't playing. Nobody
Oh,
gives a
he's
shit.
playing. He was full today, but sorry, Nickson.
Okay, well, in that case,
God
no,
knows what
yeah.
full participant means nowadays. Am I right, fellas?
Yeah, that's true. Shout out John Harbaugh. But I do think that, like it's a battle of two evils. It's like, would we rather have Tony Romo half drunk talking about Mahomes or Chris Collinworth with a hard on talking about Mahomes? So it's whichever one of those two evils you would rather have. But I'm very excited for this game. It'll be 2:25 Eastern in Montana, so I'm pumped for that. And I think that the Chiefs are going to win. I think it'll still be entertaining, but just in the spirit of, I think this year is the year for the Bills. I'm going to take them to lose and then win in the postseason.
Ooh, okay. I like that, and this is why I'll preface it. I'm not taking a side here, and that's precisely why is because this game, Chiefs versus Bills, is the most corrupt, Roger Goodell controlled. No offense, Roger Goodell, but shit always feels weird with the Chiefs and Bills. It's like the most like there's existential forces on this game all the time. There's narratives built around it, and the narrative going into it this year is that I wouldn't say exactly like or it's like far and away the Chiefs always lose in the regular season to the Bills, but then win in the playoffs. So your gut takes you to okay, well something's going to change eventually, and I'm a believer in that. Like once those statistics start to get talked about and those trends get talked about, that's when they end up ending or shifting. I just can't take a side here with how weird of a team the Chiefs have been. Like, if anyone watched, like, I know I did, but any of the viewers watched Monday Night Football, it was like that first half. It was they were playing against a shitty Commanders defense. Like, excuse me, like they had just nothing against them. They were getting turned over. Mahomes looked off or whatever. And then second half, it was just like cruising. Like we are in practice squad 2 minute drill here for the entire game. Buffalo just put a dick slapping on Carolina, but they had an awful showing against Atlanta the week before. So both teams, I mean, they're going to give their best game. That's what always happens with these two teams. They always give it their all. It's a game circled on the schedule no matter what. But I don't feel comfortable taking because 1.5 is a pick 'em. I could see this game ending within a point. Just due to, like I said, the weird circumstances that always surrounds this matchup, but I don't want to touch it. I'm going to go under 51.5 here. And I said because I just think defensively both teams are going to be on their game. I I mean, I'm not going to give the Chiefs and Spags too much credit for holding Marcus Mariota and the Commanders offense with like a not ripened Terry McLaurin to 14 points or whatever it is. But that's a weird offense to face, and there's a lot of variety there. And the Chiefs do certain things well that the Commanders' system as a whole kind of combated. Bill's defense is just like it's never really something you hear about, but they show up in big moments a lot of the time. But I'm not going to take this under based on defenses. I'm going to take it on. I think there's going to be turnovers. I think there's going to be penalties, and penalties impact over unders, in my opinion, almost more than defenses do. And it's Chiefs Bills guys. Jim and Tony are on the call. I don't know if it's Terry McCauley or Mike Pereira, who's the rules analyst, but you hear them. Like he is basically the third member of that broadcast. I guess officially he is or whatever, but he is talking as much as Jim and Tony. And I agree. I give me drunk Tony over Collinsworth any day, but I'm going to go the under. I'm thinking we're going to see like another like 24-21 kind of thing here. It could be tight on that endeavor. But sorry to the viewers for not taking a side. I just the card records. I got to be at the top of my game. If I'm not 100%, I can't take it.
All right, so I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna take the Bills plus 1.5. Even though I'm a Patriots fan, like if you pay attention, I've kind of been some type of like not a Bills supporter, but I do take the Bills often. I like Josh Allen a lot, even though I'm a Patriots fan, and I respect what they do. So I'm gonna take the Bills. I just feel like whenever you hear someone talk about Josh Allen, most of the time the conversation goes towards his comparison to Mahomes, what he does, his record against Mahomes, his playoffs against Mahomes. So I feel like every time he plays Mahomes, this game just means a little extra to him because that's what people are going to talk about is how did he go up against Mahomes? And as people have said, he has had a lot of success in the regular season against the Chiefs, and I think that'll continue. I think that Josh Allen probably is going to play, a great game. He wants to go out there outdo Mahomes. The Chiefs, I feel like they're at the point where they're mainly preparing for playoffs. Like the regular season is just not, it's where the Patriots were at 10 years ago. It's just like they're preparing for the playoffs. And I feel like the Bills are still out there, trying to prove something every week. And I think that, both teams have been having pretty solid seasons, but uh the Bills, I feel like, they haven't been as great of recently. So I feel like this is the type of game where they flip that around. They're like, they go out there. I think they play a game, and I'm going to take the over. Whenever it's Bills Chiefs, it's Bills Lions, it's Bills Rams. It's like some combination of those offenses. Like you got to take the over. It's always a show. There's points to be put up. You're going to kick yourself when the game's at 70 points and it's Josh Allen and Mahomes, and you're like, why did I not take the over? It's two fantastic offenses. Two defenses that are all right. Chiefs defense was supposed to be good, but it hasn't been as good as it was supposed to be. And the Bills defense has always had its problems. DBs aren't great. Um, so I feel like this is going to be a shootout. I think the Bills end up pulling this one out. Josh Allen's gonna hold on. Sorry, it's getting hot. I got to take this off. Okay, that's way better. So yeah, I think that not the Lions, the Bills end up winning and it goes over.
All right, I'll go next. I think I don't want either of these teams to win. Being a Ravens fans, I fucking hate both of these teams because they always beat us in the playoffs. Um, I don't know. I'm really up in the air about this. I think, honestly, you know what? I think Haley Steinfeld will beat Taylor Swift's ass, so I'm going to take the Bills. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Bills because Haley Steinfeld's better than whatever the fuck, whatever the fuck Travis Kelce's dating. So that's my take on it. But fuck both these teams.
I love that analysis. I mean, I absolutely love that.
That's got to be a clip or something. That was
Yeah, I
phenomenal.
mean, I always say I'm gonna make
Put
clips
that here.
and lack on it, but that's yeah, we're gonna feature that one. That was, I mean, that's the top tier analysis that you're tuning into this program for, ladies and gentlemen. Sean, whatever the hell you're doing with Christmas lights right now, or I'm not sure what that is, but who do you like in Chiefs versus Bills?
Yeah, everything's kind of already been said. Um, I always seem to go against the Chiefs as well. Um, I don't know, just something not quite right about them. And my gut wants me to do it again. And I really don't have any data to back it either. Though, I still feel like the Chiefs are kind of getting away with like rocky wins. Like I don't fully agree with Tommy saying they're all the way back. Um, they like barely beat like the banged up Commanders a couple days ago. So I think with Josh Allen, it's actually going to be quite the slaughter. So give me the Bills.
I mean, that's too like crazy. Like Nixon doesn't like Haley, or Nixon likes Haley Steinfeld over Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes, and Sean is anticipating the Bills to slaughter Patrick Mahomes because he just doesn't have it.
I mean, we saw this last year. Like the Bills beat the shit out of the Ravens on Sunday Night Football by like 30 points, and then the Ravens were still good that year. So like, even if that happens, that doesn't mean the Chiefs aren't good. But
No,
like,
no, it's yeah,
Sean, I don't know. Sean, I don't know if you heard what I said. I do think the Chiefs are still good, but I did predict that the Chiefs are going to lose to the Bills in the playoffs this year for the first time. So that's the only reason why I'm picking the Bills to lose this game because I think you can't beat both. You can't win twice in one year.
Yeah, just like final note on this game is that like the Chiefs are good. Everyone has to admit that it's like they're good, but and we talk about it every fucking week how they have the same like thing where it's are they cooked or whatever, is their window closed, but like and then you get into the time where it's like, oh, they look sick. And now we're in the time where real Chiefs football returns, which is they play some good teams, they get into some tight matchups, and penalty flags start flying. Andy Reid starts ripping off weird plays. Travis Kelce starts throwing laterals in the middle of the field. So like I am really interested to watch what's going to happen. I think it's going to be over officiated. And if I'm wrong, I hope I am wrong. Then it's going to be a great football game to watch. But I'm probably going to be right. And I mean, I just can't wait for Tony and Jim. I know I've said that before, but moving on into the best part of the show, which should be interesting this week considering the slate that is ahead of us, the mortal locks for the week. A few of us did well last week, a few of us did poorly. Not to name names or anything. Sean, who are you putting your life on the line for this week?
So I'm actually putting my life out on the line for a spread this week. I didn't realize I was copying Tommy, but I guess smart minds think alike. The Steelers defense looking a little shaky, been giving up a lot of points as of late. At the same time, we're actually scoring a lot of points on offense too, thanks to A-Rod, who, if I'm not wrong, is leading the league in passing touchdowns. So maybe he's second. He has 16. Baker might have 17. Regardless, he's balling. Defense is blowing. On the opposite side of the field, we're playing the Colts, who top five in offensive points. Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones. He's been balling, getting them a lot of points. So this is going to be a shootout if I believe my predictions are correct. Steelers are going to give up a lot of points, and the Colts are going to score a lot of points, and that's going to make for a lot of points. So there's my take.
There you
I'll
have
Thanks
it.
for listening.
I'll follow you, Sean, just because we do have the same pick. Me and Sean have watched all the Steelers games this year. We've seen the fall from grace that has occurred. It's the inverse of the past few years, where if the offense scored 14 points, that means we're probably going to win because the defense is going to hold them to less than that. This year, it's complete opposite. And, to win this game, which for the record, I do think the Steelers are going to win this game, despite how everything points in the opposite direction. That's typically how it goes. Sean's correct. Steelers are ranked 32 out of 32 in total defense right now, with the highest paid defense in the NFL. So obviously bad. Colts offense putting up 33 points a game. Jonathan Taylor averaging 3 touchdowns a game and 200 yards. I think the Colts are going to score a lot of points, but I do think the Steelers are also going to score a lot of points. Steelers are averaging 25 points a game too. So the line's at 50 and a half. If you just pick the two averages, both these teams, you're over. Not that that means it's going to happen, but I just think it is going to happen because I think the Steelers are going to fight, and the Colts just have a good offense. So I think they're going to put up points regardless. So yeah, over 50 and a half seems like pretty good lock.
One more note on this game. Not to jinx myself, knock on wood, but the Steelers have been doing pretty good against the run the last couple weeks. I think we held Jacobs to like 30 rushing yards. So we have been decent in that category. But yeah, regardless, we're gonna have to hold down JT this week.
Yeah, what you traded off for Josh Jacobs, you received in the back end with Tucker Kraft. Sadly, no one wants to see the Packers win, including me. I can't believe I found myself in a state like rooting for a team quarterbacked by Aaron Rodgers, but here we are. It's 2025. A lot of shit's changed. Am I right, fellas? I'll go real quick. Uh, it was a bad lock for me last week, and I've been iffy on locks again or locks, but I targeted the 49ers and Texans last week. I'm targeting the 49ers again this week because they're playing the New York Giants. And after an average like 60-yard per game running back in Cam Scatterbo goes down, people are acting like Walter Payton has died for the second time. Um, So yeah, but I guess he's a big player for their team. So that's going to take a hit. I still think this game's going to be run game central. Tyrone Tracy is no slouch, and so he'll be taking over most likely the bulk of the carries um, for the Giants. The 49ers couldn't really get anything going in their pass game last week against the Texans. And you've got Christian McCaffrey. And against a good pass rush that's gonna I don't know if Brock Purdy's starting this week or whatever, but even if Brock Purdy is starting, I think it's gonna be a lot of run game to McCaffrey, some short stuff to Kittle, since he's back now, and a lot of run game against a good D line that the Giants have. I think it's gonna be a really ground pound game. And the total set at 49 and a half, so I'm going under with that. Not much else to say there. I'm severely unimpressed by the Giants, and um, you'd be surprised like the amount of PR they get for being a 2-6 or whatever team is funny. But yeah, I'm gonna take the under in that. I think the Niners win, but at the same time, what they did to me last week, I can't bank on that again. But I don't think it's gonna be any sort of shootout.
All right, everybody listen the fuck up because this is where shit gets interesting. I'm
Jewish
gonna do
shit.
something I don't normally do on here, and I'm gonna talk about myself for a second. I don't like to get too high, I don't like to get too low. But I had the biggest jump last week. I went from eighth place to fifth place. I'm at 500. If anyone's been watching my record throughout the
No, no,
year,
no. Okay. You're not at 500 yet. You're 19 and 20. You're
okay,
close.
I'm basically at 500, which means the fact from where I started that I'm about to be 500. That means I've been on a fucking heater. And you know why? I'm 7-1 in locks. I haven't missed a lock of the week since week one when I wasn't on the show. I'm on a 7 straight weeks of locks. So I got the Santa hat on. It's because I'm gifting y'all with a lock in October. It's not even Christmas time yet, and I'm gifting y'all with a lock. I'm going to do another thing I don't like to do, and that's take the Patriots game. I normally avoid Patriots games at all costs because I have so much like bias. I root for them. Like I'm going to be happy or sad one way or another. They don't need to affect my lock, but I was looking through the slate this week, and I was like, damn, that's a fucking lock. We're taking the over of the Patriots and the Falcons at 45. The Patriots have been one of the most electric offenses in the league. Maybe I'm a little biased because I'm a fan, but Drake May slinging the rock. Kayshon Boutte is always open down the field. Stephon Diggs is way better than I thought he was going to be at this point. We can't run the ball for shit, and we're still putting up 30 points a game because of big Drake May. The Falcons, there's two possibilities here. I know Michael Penix has an injury he's dealing with that right now. If he plays, that offense is significantly better with Michael Penix. I mean, I know they put up whatever, 10 points last week with Kirk. That offense is significantly better with Michael Penix. You know, Drake London's having a really good year. Obviously, Bijan just had his first bad game, but every other week he's been great. I'm sure he'll be nothing less than spectacular against us. And if Michael Penix can't play, I just recently saw something that Kirk Cousins said he wants to play somewhere else. He wants to start for another team. Whatever he said, he thinks he can be a starting quarterback. So after you make a statement like that, you know what you have to do? Back that shit the fuck up. So either Michael Penix is coming in and he actually is a talented quarterback, or Kirk Cousins is coming here with the biggest motor he's ever had to show people that he can still play after he played a shitstorm. He just said he thinks he can still do it, and he will show people if he gets in the game. Doesn't matter either way, though. The Patriots are still gonna. That's not the Patriots winning this game is not my lock. It's the over. Patriots offense is gonna be electric. Falcons offense is gonna be better than it was last week. 45 is way too low of a total for one of the top offenses in the league. Plus the Falcons over 45. I'm 7-1. Merry Christmas or Happy Halloween, but Merry Christmas for the lock.
Big Kirko and Big Draco heading at it.
That pick right there, Code, you just jinxed the Patriots. Now they're gonna go back to being mid.
We'll talk about we'll let Nickson go, and then I've got something.
That's what I'm always scared of. I always fear that. Sorry.
We'll let Nickson give a lock, and then I've got something to say about the Patriots. But I'll close out with that. But Nickson, what are you locking in for this week?
Am I good? Like, am I lagging really bad, or is it just like
Right there,
okay?
you were lagging pretty bad there.
Shit.
Once you said
Hold on,
the
let me get off, and then let me get off. Let me get.
All right. Well, so while Nickson figures out his battle with the Wi-Fi that I dealt with last week, um, I will say, Kobe, I hope you're listening to this because I'm so fucking glad that I live in a densely populated sports area, particularly for the NFL or I guess MLB too, having DC, Baltimore, Philly, like in close proximity. Because all I'm hearing about is go fucking birds, Commanders, like Jaden Daniels is God, and Lamar Jackson. And as a Bears fan, I hear about all that as well. I'm just so glad I don't live in the New England area to where I have to just hear Drake May propaganda left and right. And I've been seeing a little bit of it squeak into my timeline, but it's rough. I gotta say it's rough. Oh, Jake, welcome to the program.
So, how we doing, boys?
Doing great.
Is
You
that
you
fucking Jake Lewis out here?
Hey, Nickson.
What
I
the
f-
fuck?
can Nickson hear me? I see Michael Jordan doing a dunk, or is that Nickson right there? I can't see.
Nixon's
That is
distracted driving right now in a wooded area.
Hey, Nickson.
Yeah.
Something about me is feeling the record 12-5. I don't know if you're getting the same vibe that I'm getting, but I can
That's 10
feel
and
it. I
7.
can feel it
We're not.
coming towards me.
I'm more realistic. I feel 10 and 7. We're not beating the Steelers twice. And then we're gonna lose a game. We're gonna lose a game we should not. We should not. Like
Yeah, they might
we're
fucking
gonna
lose
to, like,
tomorrow
fucking
night for how
Alberta.
bad this fucking defense is. My God. Hey, Tua supposedly got pink eye and now he can play well. I mean, I don't know what he got himself into, but my goodness gracious. Sam, what games we picking? I totally have disregarded your
Yeah,
text message.
I'll give you a quick little run here since you made the effort to come in. But I'm glad you brought up Tua's pink eye because we did mean to do that. Real quick, like rapid fire. Broncos Texans.
Who the fuck picked that game?
Yeah, look at the rest of the games on the slate. Total's 39.5.
Dude, there's been a lot of bad games this year. I mean, like, we don't even have a lot to choose. The Colts are the best team. This is a weird year. However, the show goes on. Broncos, Texans. Who's the home team?
It's in Houston. They're 1.5 point favorite.
Give me Houston. CJ Stroud turned a corner last week, played well against the San Francisco defense. Bob Saleh looked like he was the coach of the Jets again. I think CJ Stroud has turned a corner. I do not think the Broncos can continue to stack wins like this. The Cowboys defense is awful. I'm not going to put too much emphasis on that win last week, albeit Bo Nix looked great after a pretty bad pick on the opening drive. Give me Houston. I don't know what the spread is. What is it, like 1.5, you said?
Yeah, it's basically a pick 'em.
Give me Houston minus 1.5 and give me what's the over under?
39.5.
Give me the over. Give me Houston minus 1.5 and give me the even though there's good defenses in this game though.
There's a very good defense.
There's some good edge rushers in this game. You know what? Hell with it. I see Houston winning 23-20. Give me the over. Give me the over. I'm standing on it.
Okay. Chiefs Bills in Buffalo. Chiefs are 1.5 favorite, 51.5.
Sean, when's the last time you got a haircut? You got a fucking mop over your head, my guy. I mean, it's called a number 2
He's got
fade.
the natural. It's the natural guardian cap.
It looks like it looks like he's on Castaway with Tom Hanks. What the fuck are you doing, Sean? I mean, Jesus.
Sean was hanging out with Villanova coach Jay Wright over the weekend, and Jay Wright called him a very handsome young man.
Villanova coach? I thought he retired. Sean, can you get him back? The boys need him back. The boys need him back.
I hope so. I wish.
I mean, NIL has made a lot of people quit their jobs, I will say. Speaking of jobs, how about Lane Kiffin pretty much having whatever job he wants? Oh, my God. Imagine, I mean.
He's going to have to coach 4 teams at once next year.
I mean, it's going to be – there's one person who can do it. It's fucking Lane Kiffin.
Good thing all those quad boxes are coming out.
Bills, Chiefs, shit. Home team's the Bills, I think, right? And the spread's what, -1 for Buffalo?
Yeah, I just told you all that, but yeah, it's no, Chiefs are -1.5 and total's 51.5. Bills are home.
Jake,
Right,
Buffalo has never beaten Mahomes in the regular season.
no, I think it's the other way around. The Bills always beat him in the regular season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah, the Bills always beat him in the regular season. I like the under. I think this is going to be a 27-20, 24-20 kind of game. James Cook had arguably the best game of his career last week against Carolina. I don't expect that to continue against the Chiefs' stout defense against the run. They are the Super Bowl favorites. They are 5-3. They lost to Jacksonville. They lost to Philly. They lost to the Chargers. A little bit of a weird year here. You know, give me the under, and you know what? Give me the gosh darn Buffalo Bills. Give me the Bills. I'm going to go with what Tommy said. They always beat them in the regular season, and they seem to put a lot more emphasis on the regular season matchup than the Chiefs do because the Chiefs in the playoffs play their A-plus game. I think the Bills win a close game, and I like it to go under 51.5.
And then you got a lock for us, and it
Let
better
me
not.
consult. Let
It
me
better.
consult with my dear friend FanDuel
It
Sportsbook.
better not involve JJ McCarthy.
I don't even think he's playing. We're playing Max Brosmer, dude, against Detroit. 8.5. I would take Detroit. We're screwed. Just kidding. I'm not going to pick that. Jags, Raiders. God, Sam, you're right. These games suck.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Giants, Niners. Is
Hey,
Mac Jones starting again?
I think it's Purdy.
You know what? I'm going to do something. There, I lost you. I'm back. You know, because Tommy and Sean, their beautiful faces are here. If I would have told you, gentlemen, August 1st, the Colts are going to start 8-1, would anybody believe it?
No.
Would the Colts even believe it?
No.
God, no.
Would Shane Steichen have said, "Yeah, I believe that's a realistic outcome here"?
No.
Brandon Staley would have said that, but Steichen wouldn't have.
Something tells me I think the Ravens are going to come back and win the division. But something tell me A-Rod's got one game in him this Sunday. You know, actually played well against the Packers, I think. I think Jordan Love just played better. The Packers are a good team. They're a better team than I thought they'd be, although they didn't get Micah Parsons like the week before the season, so that could have amended my preseason outlook on their schedule. I think that Pittsburgh, they're +3 at home. Tomlin, a home dog, off a loss. I do think they have the better coach. I actually think they have a quarterback I trust more, which is so disrespectful to Daniel Jones considering how well he's played this year. But everybody just remembers what he looked like when he was a Giant. So my mortal lock is going to be Pittsburgh +3 at home, which gives them room to lose by a point or two, and I still would win the bet. But I think they're going to win outright, but put Steelers +3 on my card. I like that as my lock because their defense is not as bad as it should. Because the defense is not as bad as it actually has been. Like, you understand what I'm saying? I can't picture them getting cooked because there was Flacco and then last week Jordan Love. I mean, they got to have some fight. They got to have some fight on defense. I like TJ Watt to have a strip sack here and there. And I like Pittsburgh +3 as my lock.
Yeah, we're approaching how long can Danny Jones be great?
I mean, you weren't here when we talked about this earlier, Jake, but I also think Steelers going to win just because everything says that they shouldn't. So that means they probably will.
Just, are the Colts really gonna, like, for example, the Packers are what, 5-1-1, right? So, and that's the next because they're the only other team that only has a loss. Are the Colts going to be 8-1 and be up essentially 2 or 3 games on every other team in this league? I can't see that happen. I just can't.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I also, like, we talked about this, like, Daniel Jones hasn't had to win the game yet. Like, Jonathan Taylor's always gotten them off to a lead where Daniel Jones can just, play from a 2-score lead. Whereas if the Steelers put them in a position where Taylor's shut down and Daniel Jones has to go win the game, can he do that?
As great as JT has been, he's on a LaDainian Tomlinson like pace for touchdown scoring. All respect to him. Is he going to keep this up? I mean, listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong because the Colts are Andrew and Martin aren't here. Those fans have been through a lot since Andrew Luck retired suddenly. So all credit to them and the fans. I don't think they can keep this going. I just can't.
No, I agree with you, Jake. I think that the Steelers defense is built at this point to stop the run. And, Jonathan Taylor on the pace that he's been playing at has been unbelievable. But if there is a week where he comes in and he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, it would be Sunday against the Steelers in Pittsburgh. But I don't think I gave my lock yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Let it rip.
Yeah, so I mean, look, we all know the slate this week wasn't really that good. I just kind of picked one that I was really confident in looking at the terrible slate. The Jags have been surprising me a little bit. They're a way better team than I thought they would be. They're coming off of a bye and they're playing the Raiders. The Jags. I don't even know what the spread is. I think it's like 3.5 or something.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Raiders are god awful. Geno Smith looks 3.5. Geno Smith looks terrible. They can't get Ashton Genty in a position to where he can beat Ashton Genty because that O line is so bad. Yeah, I just think, and the Jags coming off of a bye, it's going to be a recipe for disaster for the Raiders, as their season has already been a disaster. So I'm just going to pile it on them, and I'm just going to pick the Jags by 3.5. I honestly would take the Jags like -9 here.
Well, there you have it, fellas. And shout out to Jake Lewis for showing up an hour and 10 minutes late. But hey, participation matters, and he showed up. So
Sam, who the Bears got this week, bud?
Cincinnati.
Oh, that's a tough one.
At Soldier Field, we are looking at possibly a 1 o'clock tilt, or I'm just gonna drink until 6 in the morning so I can sleep through the whole thing.
I'll take the over on 20.5 screen passes being thrown in that game. I mean, geez.
Yeah, you're damn right, especially if Jake Browning's got the hump.
It's going to be a big yards after catch game in that game.
You are damn right about that. I'm not excited
Wait,
for that.
Flacco's not spitting it?
Flacco has a separated shoulder on his throwing arm.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
What
I thought
the
you were joking
fuck?
with the Jake Browning thing.
No, Flacco's got a sprained AC joint, which is a separated shoulder. Yeah, on his right shoulder.
Zach Taylor's gonna definitely still have Joe Flacco out there slinging the pill.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like it's Jake.
Yeah,
Why
they're
didn't
hurting
they go
Carson
get
Wentz. They're gonna put that
Jameis?
big ass brace.
Why didn't they go get Jameis? Like, respect to Flacco, but he's like 50. I mean, fucking Jameis is sitting there, and he just throws deep balls, but it was all they want to do. I don't understand why they didn't get him.
They like him in the crowd.